4, 3, 2, 1.
Hit it. Experience 24 hours of head-to-head AWS sessions from around the world.
Mic check 1, 2.
Jaws PANKRATION 2021. Up till down.
Hello, everyone, and I'm super excited to be here. Konnichiwa, Japan. My name is Zamira Jaupaj. I'm Enterprise Solution Architect working at AWS Services based in Amsterdam in the Netherlands. In today, I'm super excited to share with you the topic, scaling threat detection and response in AWS. At AWS, we call it security job zero. It's really high priority for us. And this is why I'm super excited to share this topic with you today.
Please press your Pocket Talk button.
Okay. Hopefully you can learn something from this session and you can apply all the security best practices also in your workloads. So let's get started. In the agenda today, I'm going to share why is threat detection so hard today, what AWS offers, what is the attacker lifecycle and how they start to attack your AWS account or your workloads, your environment. And in the end of this session, I'm going to share with you a small demo example, simple architecture. If the security is missing there and there are some misconfiguration and how you can prevent all of this security finding that happen in your environment. So why is threat detection so hard in these days? I had so many calls with my customers, and there are three main problems that all of my customers are sharing with us today. Firstly, large data sets. What does mean? You know, there are so many devices today, so many complex systems, and we're trying to collect the data all the time. And collecting all of this data, you know, we put like large data sets. And that's mean 80-90% of the data are sitting there and they are never analyzed. And we called also this dark data problem. Secondly, is signal to noise. What does mean? Actually, we have so many notifications because of so many systems that we are putting there, and we don't know which one has the high priority, which one we want to take action right now.
Please press your Pocket Talk button. Sorry.
Oh, I apologize for that. Okay. We try to analyze which one is the false alarm, which one is really important for us right now. So we get so many notifications and we need to prioritize that notification. And it's so hard if you don't have any system in place. And the thirdly, but not less important, is skill shortage. We have to take action at some points to all of this signal, all of this notification. And if you don't have mechanism in place, it's so hard to recognize, or it's so hard to make reaction based on this notification. So it's so hard also to find the security people to make a reaction based on this notification. This is why at AWS, we found a solution for our customers. So let me share with you some services that can help you to detect, control, and to help you to make more secure your environment and your workloads in the future. There are a set of services that we offer at AWS. AWS Security Hub is the first service. This actually is a service that you can collect all the security finding and you can prioritize based on your workload or based on your environment. You can filter by production or even you can filter by by the environment that really makes sense for you. You can set up rules there, and you don't need actually to take action on any kind of notification that you get. You can imagine you have hundreds of notifications at the same time, and you are going just to take action only that one that has really high priority. You can put some automation there, or you can also do it manually. Another service that helps you to put security in place is Amazon Guard Duty. This service is the threat detection service that helps you to detect all the misconfiguration or let's say some setup that is not expected to be there. And Amazon Guard Duty can be enabled automatically with VPC flow logs, with CloudTrail, also with other service. So can collect all of this security finding and then can give you a detailed information based on this. We have also Amazon Inspector, another service that actually is assessment service that you can install in your EC2 instance, and you can check for any vulnerability software that can happen in this EC2 instance, or even can check your network that your EC2 instance is hosted in this network configuration. For example, can check if the port of the security group is open or ACL or whatever misconfiguration is there. We have also Amazon CloudWatch is another service that can collect all the logs from application, database, and infrastructure, and you can create all the alerts. In this, let's say, service. We have also AWS config, actually allows you to set up rules based on your compliance or based on your the requirement that you have in your company, and you can see all the change and you can decide which service or feature is compliance or non-compliance based on your workloads. Then we have AWS CloudTrail that track all the history of API via AWS console or via also CLI or SDK or whatever. And then VPC flow logs that track the traffic of internet from outside to the AWS. All right, so I talked about what are the problems and what AWS actually can offer to resolve these problems, what are the services, but what is the attacker life cycle and how it happened, how they can enter in your environment and how they can attack your workloads. The first phase is reconnaissance. During this phase, actually the attacker are looking to see if there are some public endpoint, or the attackers at this phase are looking for some exposes how they can enter in your environment, what they can find. For example, in case you have a security port 22 open, SSH open to the world, for attacker it's quite easy to enter to your instance and to do some SSH brute force. The second phase is establish foothold. During this phase, actually the attackers are in your account, in your environment, in your EC2 instance, and they're trying to understand what kind of integration are with this service right now, that they can understand how they can go more and more to integrate and more to access other services. And then they go more deeper in the other layers is accelerate privileges. This means they can accelerate the privileges in case they find the IAM policy attached to this EC2 instance. They can put stars on this policy, and then they have more and more access to other services. And once they have more access to other services, at this phase, they are to internal reconnaissance. So that's mean they can try to find some backdoors for themselves, and then at the end maintain persistency. That's mean they can do whatever they want in your environment, in your account, when the security is missing there. So this is a simple example on how how you can prevent. And so what's happened if the security is missing there, and what's happened if it's misconfigured this infrastructure. So you can see here, it's just simple web application service is a database, and also a bucket that you can host the public static, and also another bucket that you can back up your data. So let's see what's happened if in the first phase, the firewall is missing there, or is missing the protection, let's say, between the internet and your virtual private network. The attackers are able during this phase to access your VPC, your VPC, to access your EC2 instance, and to check for any vulnerability, or also to install any kind of software that they can. For them, it's quite easy to go to the next level. Then once they have this, they can go to the database because they have access already to your EC2 instance. And when the segmentation is missing there, this means that now they can easily delete your database, change permission in database, or whatever makes sense for them. And then they can also delete your bucket or all the objects that are in this bucket. They can change permission to the bucket, or also they can download all the data. So you can see here, if the configuration or if the security is missing there, for the attackers, it's quite easy to attack your infrastructure, to attack your workloads. So what's happened actually in the first block, I explained it to you. What's happened if the security is missing there? What happened if you have misconfigured your workloads? So actually, the attackers are looking to do some SSH brute force in your instance, in your VP. Have it enabled, and records. And sometimes, it's quite easy for us because we want to remember this password. And this is why also for attackers it's quite easy to attack your EC2 instance. And then once they have permission to this one, they can go to the bucket, they can delete all the objects, as I said, or they can go to other APIs. They can do whatever they want in your infrastructure. But how we can detect and investigate all of this misconfiguration, how we can resolve all of this problem, we can prevent all of this problem before this happening. So I mean, if we can enable VPC flow logs, this means we can track all the traffic that is coming from outside to the VPC. That means we can track the IP address of the attacker. Then we can enable AWS CloudTrail. That means you can track all the API history of the attacker if they are trying, for example, to delete an S3 bucket, or they are trying to delete any other, or to change the permission of the services, you can track there. And then you can also enable Amazon CloudWatch logs. That means you can, okay, let me try it again. You can collect all the logs of your application in case they are trying to install any kind of third-party software in your EC2 instance. Once we have all of this information here, we can collect this, as I said, in Amazon Guard Duty. That means we can have a security finding there with more details from which services
1 minute left.
From which service this is coming and what you can do next. And then all of this security find, and as I said, we have thousands of security found. We can have in AWS Security Hub, we can prioritize which one has the highest priority. You can do automation there. That means you can send this to Lambda function, and you can change this automation automatically, or even you can send this to your security guy. So there are so many ways that you can you can respond to all of this attacker. So thank you so much for this. I hope you learned something from this session.
Music's loud and I'm feeling alright. It's slow motion, but it's just you and I. Yet the burn makes you feel so alive. And we live in the moment, so you know even tonight. We're here now, let's party together. Let's live life, tonight is forever. We're here now, let's party together. Let's live life, tonight is forever. Let the rhythm move us, yeah baby, take it too far. You're at the center of my attention, yeah you got me so lost. I love the way that you move and how the